Right, so I've got the apricot back. I'm just going to put in some bits here and there. I'm going to touch that bit up as well, actually. Okay, and then just down the front here as well. And then I'm going to go with a bit of burnt sienna. Okay. Put a bit up here as well. Okay, so I've got the brownish orange here. I just want to tackle this shading. As you can see, I'm going over the apricot and the sienna. Give that a bit of a brush there. That's it. Okay, and then what I want to do next is darken up round here. Now I've done this bit, I want to darken here now. So let's have a look. The Cold Grey 5. I haven't used this one yet, but this is the Cold Grey 5. Let's just put a bit more in up here as well. We used the grey, didn't we, from the Pablos up here, which is fine. Okay, that's darkened it up a bit. That's darkened it up nicely. Just put a bit here. I'm going to do, I'm going to rub out this underlining, up the line up underneath. Okay, so now coming back with the brownish beige, just do a bit more here. I've just taken the drawing out underneath because it was a bit distracting, so just taking it, just rubbed it off. Okay, so I think what I do is just tidy up this bit here. I might get the rubber, and I don't really want to use the slice tool. See if this, just to make a few light lines. Cleaning this rubber. That's the trouble, they're so little, they get dirty quite quickly, but they're fantastic to have with the drafting film. So, but yeah, they do get dirty pretty quickly. And we can use this here a bit just to get a bit of highlight in. Give that a brush again. I think I've mentioned before what I use is just one of these, and I just rub the rubber on. It just helps cleans it a bit, or maybe you could use a bit of paper, whatever's easier. Probably a few ways you could do it. Might do a bit of that up here just for a few little highlights. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back to the warm grey one, if I can find it. There we are. Just sharpened it as well. Just want to go over that a little bit just so it doesn't look like a rubber line. Okay, and I'm just going to use this to blend this as well. So I'm just touching this up now, and then we can move on to the feet. Okay, I think that's that. We can move on to the feet now. Right, so before I do move on to the feet, I've just got the rubber back. I've just made a line here, and I thought that worked well for making these little scallop kind of shapes down here. So I thought I might do that a bit more, because I'm not quite happy with the bottom part. It needs to have a bit more refined at the bottom here, so I just want to add some. So I'm not taking all the pigment off. I think that works quite well. Give that a brush, or a clean rather. As you can see, I'm not taking all the pigment out. I think because we've got so many layers, it would take quite a bit to take it out again, but I think that's coming along nicely. I think some people say you can't put a lot of layers on drafting film, but I think I've proved them wrong with this duck. Yeah, I think that's improved it actually. I like that. That's worked for me. Let's just do a couple more up here. Another clean. Okay, let's get started with the feet. So for base layer, I'm going to go with the cadmium orange in the Polychrome, sorry. I think that would make a nice base layer, so I'm just going to cover pretty much the whole foot, and then like the lighter areas we can just take out again with the tombow. So I'm just getting a nice cover. I'm hoping there's not too much background noise. I've got it's very hot today in England, so we've got the windows all open. We're waiting a storm actually, so that's something. Looking forward to that. Might cool it all down a little bit. Oh, it's that horrible humid temperature at the moment that's just horrible. You probably hear the seagulls in the background there. I'm very close to the beach, so they're quite vibrant, colourful feet on ducks, or particularly on this duck anyway, so I've been looking forward to this part actually. I love doing feet, animal feet anyway. I'm just going back and forth, just making sure I get a good cover. Obviously I haven't got to worry about any direction of fur or anything, so I can just go in any direction pretty much just to get the colour in. I was going to actually mention at the beginning, I did actually darken some areas here just with the polychrome black. You may notice it looks a bit darker. That's literally all I've done, is add a bit more black just to darken areas. So if you feel that yours needs that as well, then yeah, you just use the black. Okay, just come over here, do a bit more here. I just do 1 foot at a time. Okay, and then the next colour I thought would be really good with this is the light cadmium red. So light cadmium red, again in the polychromes. I'm actually going to sharpen that a little. Okay, now I'm going to come down the side of his leg. Now I may use some caput mortuum violet, or we'll see how we go with this. Right, in this sort of area it's quite dark, so it's definitely going to need darkening there. Okay, and then this little bit here, actually I might bring that into the actual foot area. that's worked quite nice. I'm going to bring that over here as well, because they're quite reddy orange, aren't they? They're quite a deep, vibrant red. So I'm just going lightly over the lighter areas. I've just adjusted my pressure a little. Just give that a little brush. Put a bit up here as well. Okay, now I did say about using the caput mortuum violet, but I think what would be a better option would be the India red, because the feet are very vibrant. If I get a caput mortuum violet, hopefully you can pick up that the India red is a better option. So let's go with that. I think I might sharpen that as well. That's it. Yeah, I think that's a better choice. Okay, and I'm going to lightly go over this area as well, just so it's all nicely flowing. And when I get to the darker areas, I put a bit more pressure down. Okay, and I'm going to lighten my pressure again and just bring this down. So as I say, I'm doing it really softly now. Okay, and then let's come under this bit. So you can keep the same colour but just vary the pressure to get different strengths of the colour. Well, we've got a bit more red over this side, so let's put that in. Okay, let's put a bit up here through the leg. Give that a brush. Then what I'm going to do now is get I'm thinking of black, just to darken in here further. Put a very little bit up here down the side of his leg. Okay, and while we've we've got this black, let's get these little claws in. Right, and then we've got this one coming over his next foot. Oh. Okay, and then I'm going to get the warm grey 2. Not used this yet in this drawing, I don't think, and I'm just going to go over everything. I'm kind of just using it as a blending tool just to merge everything together. Let's just do the leg as well. Okay, just need to find my rubber. Just to tidy it up down here a bit. Okay, so I've just got the India red back, and I'm just gonna tidy up a little bit, and then we'll get the highlights in. Okay, so let's get this Tombow mono rubber that I've been using. Make sure the tip's clean, and let's just get some highlights in. So just gonna literally take it out with the rubber. What I might do, oh, it's coming out, might just come down like this. So it's whatever works for you really, just to get some lighter areas in. I don't think the slice tool would be very good for this bit. And if you take too much out, you can just put the colour back in. Get that clean again. So we've got a bit here. That's a lot easier to take out at the end rather than try and colour around. Cleaning the rubber again, so it gets dirty quite quick. I think the slice tool might work for the little claws there to take a bit out. So it's a small area. And I'm also using it to lighten some areas as well, just to give it a bit more depth. You can see that looks more 3D. Okay, so anywhere I can see it needs to be lightened, I'm just taking some of the pigment out. As you can see, I'm not taking it all out. And again, if I just take too much out, I can just put it back in again. you can't really go wrong. And so up here I think I've taken a bit too much out, but that's fine. I'm just going to get my warm grey too, just to go over that there. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the cadmium orange just to put in a bit more up here. As I say, it's a bit too much come out. Okay, I'm going to sharpen that actually, because I want to refine these a little bit more. Okay, and then we'll get the Pablo white. It's nice and sharp, and we can just go over those rubber lines. Just going to merge those a little bit so they don't look too uniform. So. Okay, and then I just want to darken here. I might actually go with the caput mortuum violet actually this time, and just run that down here. Okay, and then let's go just back to the light cardamom red. I'm just going to come in between those lines a little bit. Just run a bit down this side very gently. And I think this little duck's foot on this side is complete pretty much. We could add little bits of highlight on the claws with the slice tool if you wanted. Obviously they're very small. And then just get the white back. Okay, so coming over to this next foot, I've got the cardamom red, and I'm going to do pretty much the same as we have on his left one, only it is a bit darker on this side, so we'll have to put that in. So yeah, as I said, I've got the cardamom red, cadmium red, however you pronounce it, and I'm just going to fill it all in. And then I was thinking, actually, because at the moment he's just hovering, I probably won't record the grass or whatever I sit him on, but you can just do a bit of shading underneath or a bit of grass, pretty much do anything. And I say I'm not quite sure what I will do. Might just do a bit of shading underneath. Okay, so we've got the big claw there. Okay, so that's the first layer down. So now I'm going to go with the light cadmium red. Again, we use this colour on this side. So let's get these bits in. So I'm just making circular movements. Okay, let's come over to this side, just so we can get the shape of the foot again. Then we don't have to worry about losing the line art underneath. I think I need to put a bit more in there actually. Now I've got this other foot going in, I need to put a bit more in there. bit of that down here as well. Okay, and then let's get this leg in. I have got a deeper red that I'm going to use as well. Just getting the shape in at the moment. And we've got this central line. Okay, so we've got some lines, so I'm not worrying about too much detail with the feet on this one. It's just a matter of getting the right colours in and lights and darks. Let's put a bit down this side. Okay, now I was going to use, let's have a look, I've got a scarlet red here. I thought that might be good in the darker areas, but let me sharpen that. So yeah, I've got the scarlet red. Oh, I'm not sure if it's going to make much difference really. Not really, I don't think. I'm just putting a bit of it in here and there. Actually, we've got a little bubble bit to his ankle there. Add that in, get a bit more shape. So before I do go any darker, I just want to add a new colour actually to the feet, and this is the cinnamon. And just on the flapper parts of the feet, I just want to see if this would work. You've got like a cinnamon colour coming through as well, and it's helping to blend as well. I'll put a bit on this side too. That works quite nice with the orange and reds. I might put that in here actually. I think because the line art's coming through, it's making it look a bit more, it's standing out a bit more than it will be. but I think that works. If you lift the film up, it looks better because you can't see the line underneath. Okay, let's just put a bit over here and then we'll carry on with the other side. Okay, let's come back over here. So I'm going to add that over here, just what I have been doing with this side. Probably not showing up very well on the video, but it's just helping to blend. And it's adding a touch of pinky colour. I think this whole drawing has taken probably around 6 hours, which to do a full duck, I think that's not bad at all. It's not hyper detailed, admittedly, but I personally don't work like that anyway. But I think that looks quite good for that 6 hours of work. Okay, right, let's try and darken this side up now, because as I say, it is a lot darker on his right side. I'm probably going to be looking at a cobalt mortuum violet, or we've got the India red. Let's go with the India red. That's a nice deep red colour, and let's see how that works. Yeah, I think that'll work quite nicely actually. Okay, yeah, I think that's working quite nice, the India red there. I might put a touch of that over here as well. I can't remember if we used the India red before now, or but I am now. Lovely. Okay, let's come back to this. So we've got this little knobbly bit here, and we come down the centre. Okay, so it's quite light over this side, so I don't want to do too much there. Let's get this shape in here where the claw comes out. That's my little dog in the background, if you can hear her. I'm going to get the cinnamon back and just blend that a little bit more. You can put a bit more pressure on. Okay, I want to get that cadmium orange back. Oh. So we've got the light, oh no, I want the light cadmium red, sorry. And I just want to put a bit more colour in this bit here. Okay, that's better. And let's put a bit more on this side. Okay, and with this colour I'm just going to go over his leg. Not too much pressure, I'm just covering a little bit, and then of course we can take we can use the rubber to put in some highlights. Okay, let's put his claws in. So I'm going to get the black. So referring back to the picture, so we've got this one coming behind his left foot. You only see part of the claw. Got this one here. This is a bit thicker because we're looking at it head on, so it's a bit thicker looking. I'll just go over it a few times to get the black in, like that. And then we've got this one here. That's literally all it needs. Well, I just might make this one a little bit darker on his left foot. I don't want to fill it all in because it's got a bit of a highlight there. I think that's pretty much it for that. Right, and I think let's add some highlights with the tombow rubber. I'll just move my picture up a bit. So we'll leave the leg area for now. So I've just got a few highlights to put in here. So I'm not taking all the pigment out. I just want to lift a bit of colour just to lighten in some places. do a bit around his claw here. Okay, and then let's put a bit up here. So you could use the slice tool here. I personally prefer this, the tombow. I feel I have a bit more control, but that's just my preference. I mean, with the slice tool you either take the pigment out or you don't, whereas with the tombow rubber you're in control of how much you want to take out. Another clean. I'm going to take a bit out over here as well, just to lighten it. I'm just ignoring that pencil line because that's underneath, that's the line drawing, so try not to worry about that. Okay, let's give that a good clean, and then I think I'm going to get the cinnamon back. And let's just cover this area. And a bit over here, and I'm going to get the white Pablo. So let's get the white Pablo. Mine's quite sharp, so I'll see if I can get away with that. And I'm just going to go over where I've taken out, just to give it a bit more white in places. And while I've got the white, I might just go over this, just blend it a bit more. Okay, and then I need to darken up here, a bit down here. I was going to go with the black, but I'm thinking a dark grey might be a better choice. Let's have a look. So I've got the warm grey 6 here, and I'm just going to darken up where I need to. So just coming down the side of his leg here. I think that's pretty much it. Let's just put a bit down the bottom here. Might just run that down this side as well. I think we used the caput mortuum, didn't we? give it a bit more. I think that's pretty much it for the feet. I've got a couple of areas I just want to revisit, and I think we're pretty much there. So what I wanted to do was just get my tombow back, just giving it a clean. I just wanted to take a bit out here because this is lighter. And get the Pablo white, just put that in. Just do a bit of touching up here. I think that's all done. Didn't take too long really. As I say, I think I've done it over 5 videos, so you're probably looking at about 6 hours. So I think that's turned out rather nice. If you have any questions about any part of this drawing, whether it's about the pencils I've used or anything like that, then do drop me a comment. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments. And if you do the drawing, do show me, and you know, maybe I can share it with your permission. And I hope to see you on the next drawing.